So in the last section, we put all the clips together, and now we're gonna be putting some or changing some of the parameters of the clip. So we're not really doing anything with the audio, so I'll just put it down. So let's say if we select this drone shot, and as soon as we select it, then we go on the right hand side and then you click on inspector. And once you click on the inspector, there are a lot of parameters that you can change in this specific clip. So if I say zoom in, and a lot of them are really straightforward. So you go zoom in, zoom out. You can change the parameters like x-axis and the y-axis like so. And if I did something, and you can also rotate it, and if I did something wrong and if I want to reset it, for example, if I just want to reset the rotation, then I just click here, the reset button. But if you wanted to reset everything, then you click here and everything would be back as how it was initially. Pitch, you can do like this. Yaw, you can also change like this. All of these things we would be doing in the upcoming section. And then flip, you can flip the video horizontally, and this you can flip the video vertically, but I would just reset it again. AI Smart Reframe, this is just for the studio version, and I can show you how this can be handy. So let's say if I go on the settings here, if I do use vertical resolution. So here, if you see this video, my main subject is here in this corner. Is it not? Right? But if I do AI Smart Reframe, the AI should be capable of bringing my subject back in the center. So let's see. Now, if I play this video, you can see DaVinci brought this back in the center. We can do the same for here. Let's do reframe, and then the just of the coast of the subject is in the center. Why we would reset them again? So what happens is that the DaVinci is basically changing the position of the Y and the X axis of wherever the subject lies. So I would just reset it and go back to the horizontal resolution. So this is an AI feature. Cropping. This is really interesting. So say for example, if we are on this clip, if you go crop left, you can crop left, you go crop right, you can crop right, top, bottom, it's really straightforward. And if we have crop like that, you can also sort of manipulate the edges of the crop, and so you can change the softness. We can reset it like this. Dynamic zoom is, you can just turn it on and just off the coast of the Netherlands. It kind of zooms in by itself. So this is a zoomed in image. Just off the coast of the Netherlands. And then it zooms out. So dynamic zoom is quite straightforward. Composite mode. Composite is also really interesting because what happens now? Let's put this clip, right? So right now we have this clip here and the clip is underneath this, but we are just seeing this clip, right? But if we change the opacity, so then the clip on the top, it becomes a little bit lighter. And if it's 100%, you don't see it. But there are different modes of composite mode. So let's do a really cool thing. So I would just leave it like so. And then what are we going to do? We go in master, then we go to overlays. Do you see overlays? Yeah, we go overlay. And I would maybe click on this one. So this, and I would just click, bring it down here, right? So you have all of this, okay? Don't worry. So you should go in the overlays and then you have this. So now, I'll just mute the video because it's a bit annoying. So now if I go here, you can see that I want this to be on top of the other clip, but I also want the other clip to show. So if you bring down the opacity, then the whole image goes like this. I will just change the setting here. So what we can do is we go to opacity. This I use it all the time. If I have to put any overlays in between two videos, I use it all the time. So you go composite mode, you scroll all the way down and then you go screen. And now you see how cool it looks. You see, and I have tons of overlays that what I've given it to you. If I go here for power bins, if I just increase this up, We have overlays, and I have so many overlays that you can put, and they are quite long, so you can just choose what portion of this overlay you want on top of your videos. And what you need to do, you just bring it on top of in between two video clips, and then just composite mode, you change it from normal to screen, and then the video looks beautiful. So this is the kind of transition a lot of people also use in their videos, especially on the reels and the short form format videos. So that's really interesting. Speed change is not really handy. Stabilization is really cool. So if we see, say, this clip, right? I would just bring this clip here. So if you want to make a duplicate of one clip, what you need to do, you press Alt or Option, and then you click on the clip and bring it here. Because I don't want to disturb this sequence, but I still want to show you the stabilization method or stabilization setting, which is really cool. So I just pressed Alt, or I can show again, Option or Alt, click on this and just drag it here. And that would create a duplicate. So I just zoom in. I'm gonna increase the length of this. And you can see that this video is like a little bit shaky. You can see it's a little bit shaky. So what we're going to be doing, stabilization, you go stabilize, and then it kind of crops everything in. And now if you go full screen, so how do you go full screen? You press P. So I press, oh wait, let's go in the beginning, press P. See now how smooth it looks. Without stabilization, you can see it's a bit shaky. You see? And with stabilization, it's really smooth. Sometimes the stabilization, they don't really work. So then you can choose different modes. So you can do similarity, then stabilize again. You can do translation and stabilize again, because it really depends on the movement of the video. So yeah, I usually just go reset. I usually go perspective, and that does the job. But in DaVinci, there is another cool stabilization method. Let me click to another clip. Maybe this one. Okay, so in this clip you are seeing, if I go full screen, you can see that this is a handheld clip, right? You can see some movements. Okay, but I'll just copy it here as well, make it a little bit longer. But you can almost make this clip look like it was a tripod shot. How do you do that? You go to camera lock, so that would try to lock the axis, and then stabilize. DaVinci would crop in a little bit. Let's go full screen, and now let's play. You see how cool it is. A lot of times I take those handheld shots, and sometimes you can see a little bit of movement, but I want it to look like a tripod shot. So I just press camera lock and I do stabilize. But this is only applicable if the footage is not that shaky. If it's crazy shake, then it wouldn't work. I think it can also work with this video. You see there's a bit of shake. I do camera lock, stabilize, and now almost looks like it's a static shot. Of course, if I disable stabilization, you can see that it's kind of cropping in a little bit. But that's the thing with stabilization, it crops in and then kind of tries to make the whole video stable. Lens correction, yeah, if you have some sort of lens distortion, then it's useful. It's not really useful now. Retime and scaling. This is really handy. So for example, if we had a 60 frames per second video clip, which I don't have it now. So I have found a 60 frames per second video. This is also with you. So how do you know it's 60 frames per second? So I just click on the video, you go to file here, and there you can see that it's 59.940. That's 60 frames per second. So I don't want to go all over the place, but in the inspector panel, we are until here, okay? Now, what we're going to be doing is this clip, you can see it is 60 frames per second. But here, if I play this, it is also playing in 60 frames per second. So what we need to do is that, as most of you know, if you have a 60 frames per second clip or 50 frames per second clip or 120 frames per second clip, you can convert that clip into a 24 frames per second clip, and that clip would be a slow motion. How do you do that in a good way? You go to clip attributes, you go to video, and then your video frame rate, you convert it to 24, which is the frame rates of our timeline. And then if you play back here already, let's say we want the clip here, now it's in a little bit of slow motion. So that's how you slow videos down and bring it here. So that was generally a way to show you the slow motion. But let's take this clip. I'll just bring it here. So this clip, as you can see, it's already in slow motion, right? But what if I want to slow it further? This is something really cool in DaVinci, and I use it all the time. If I have to reduce the speed down, because if I go clip attributes, it's already in 23.976. You cannot really slow it down because you cannot really play a video which is already slower than the frame rates of the DaVinci, of the project. So what we need to do, you go right click, you go change clip speed, and then you can slow it down from here. So let's say we want to do 50. So we are reducing it. It was already slow motion, but we want to reduce the speed even half. And let's play it in full screen. So now you can see the video is a little bit choppy. It's like a little bit jarring. It's not really smooth. And this is something what DaVinci has introduced really cool. So if you go to retime and scaling, and this is of course in the free version as well, which is amazing. So if you go to retime scaling, you go here, retime process, you go optical flow, and then motion estimation. You can either do enhance faster or enhance better. I would do enhance better because then the quality of the slow motion is really good. And now if I play it, now all the jarring is gone and the video, it's getting stuck because it's not really playing here at 24 frames per second. You see, the video is getting stuck because it's a bit heavy on DaVinci because we have to enhance better. Let's do enhance faster and see. The video is still getting stuck, but we're gonna take care of that, of the stuck video. But if we export it, then the video plays back really smooth. So what this is actually doing, retime scaling, is that it kind of takes care of the jarring motion. For example, if we change the speed to even say 20%, if we just reset it, and now if we see the video, you can see the video is a bit choppy, right? So now if we go optical flow here and then let's go standard faster and let's see how that looks. So you see, it kind of takes care of the choppiness, the jarring motion. That is really cool in DaVinci. But of course, this I'm showing you in the standard faster format just for the sake of this video. But every time before exporting, you should do enhance better. So then you get the best slow motion out of DaVinci. Of course, if I do that, it's not really gonna play the best, but yeah, this is what you should do to reduce the speed of the video more than how it was from the camera. And this is such a cool feature of DaVinci. AI Super Scale is in the studio version, but what happens here is that, like speaking of studio version, if you are serious about video editing, I would really recommend you to invest in the studio version. This software is just so good. Let's show you. So for example, if you had a video which was filmed on a really bad camera, or if you sort of cropped it in a lot, and once you crop videos, then the quality loses. This is shot on a good camera, so you don't really see the quality difference. If I just place it here, what you can do is that you can super scale the video. So if we go 4x enhance, then the video is a little bit sharper and it wouldn't look like it's cropped in. So what AI Super Scale basically does is that it kind of introduces, like, it increases sharpness, it increases the video quality, even if it's zoomed in, because sometimes if you zoom in a video, it kind of falls apart, and that's what DaVinci is taking care of. But it also makes your system really slow. Like if I play it now, it just wouldn't play. It's like 0 frames per second. It should be playing 24, but it just wouldn't play. So that's what, if I have to do this, I do this AI Super Scale just before exporting any video. you know, because I still want a nice playback here. Anyways, let's bring the transform here. And one more thing what is really cool is that, like, of course we went through all the parameters in the inspector panel. So let's say, for example, if we changed anything, if we increase the clip speed to say 20%, you know, forget that we did this, okay? And let's say if we change the Y, position, and if we rotated the image a little bit, and if we want to copy the same video settings on this video clip, so we don't have to, you know, copy and paste the numbers. What we can do, you go right click, you go copy, or you can go Command C or Control C in Windows. So what I would do, I would use a shortcut Command C, Control C, and then here you go right click, and there is a thing called paste attributes, which is Option V or Alt V. So here we're going to be doing Alt V or Option V. We go here, and now DaVinci is going to be copying the properties from this clip to this clip. And it's also going to show you what all things it would copy from that clip, because it would only show you the things where we have made any changes. But for example, if you don't want to copy the rotation angle, we can choose that, and let's apply. And then this video becomes like this. So you can see that it kind of zoomed in the same zoom level as this clip. Then we have the position, we have 0 rotation angle. So that's really handy as well. But I would just change the video. So yeah, that's really, really handy when you have to sort of paste the same settings on the entire clips. For example, if I had to zoom in on all the clips, like zoom in say 1.2, then you can just do copy and paste attributes, and that would copy the zoom on all the clips. You don't have to do it manually. So this is something really, really cool, and I use it all the time. So copy and paste attributes, it's going to save you so much time. So that was inspector panel in DaVinci for videos. But there is another inspector panel in DaVinci for just audio, which we're going to cover in the next section.